ARC Tutorials. This is Testing Concept Series, and in today's episode we are going to learn about system testing. What is system testing? What are the different tools that are available? What are some of the advantages and what are some of the disadvantages of system testing? We are going to learn all about it in today's episode. Let's get started. This is part 15 of the Testing Concept Series. This is a playlist I've already created. If you have missed out on any of these concepts, I'll request you to check out the playlist so that you have continuity in your learning and you cover everything. So today we are on episode number 15, learning about system testing. Alright, so what is system testing? System testing is a type of software testing that involves testing a complete and fully integrated software application to ensure that it meets specified requirements and functions as intended. Now, this is a pretty vague thing in terms of agile, right? In agile, we never complete a software application. It's always incremental. But having said that, here the word complete means at the end of a sprint or a version 1 release or version 2, etc. So think of it in those terms. The goal of system testing is to validate that the software application or the build that we are talking about is working correctly from end to end, no matter which version, be it at the end of the sprint or be it version 1, etc. The idea is to test all the features integrated into that particular build end to end. And that's where system testing allows us to run a wide range of tests, including functional, performance, security, compatibility, reliability, and all other types of tests. Here we are going to exercise the various components, subcomponents, all interactions between those components thoroughly so that whatever build we get is working exactly as expected. That's what is called as system testing. Now remember, don't get confused because this might be one of the interview questions you may attend. They'll ask you what is system testing. So what you should say is it involves testing a complete or stable build that is being promoted, right? It can be a smallest build of one sprint, it can be a build of 10 sprints, or a complete version of version 1, right? That particular system, when you test it end to end, that is what is called system testing. Now, why is system testing important? Obvious reasons. It improves the software quality, it reduces the risk of errors that our application has, or even before introducing it to the real world. Increases confidence. Now I gave an example of agile testing wherein we keep incrementing the features and the functionality. That gives us a lot of confidence that it's a stable build, the application is working as expected, and we can keep improving, keep iterating and adding more features. Better documentation. Again, this is a subjective thing because in the agile world we don't document things as part of Word or Excel or anything, but we use Jira tickets or user stories, right? So those user stories becomes our documentation. Whatever stories are covered for that particular build or that particular release are all documented in user stories. That would be the base for QA to refer and test. So let's talk about some of the testing tools that are used in system testing. Now there are many tools, frameworks which are also introduced as part of DevOps and all that, but the leading tools are JUnit, Selenium, Cucumber, JUnit. You have PyTest, you have TestNG, you have Appium, you have Selenium. So there are a lot of frameworks and tools that are available, but list down some that you know or prepare only few. Not everybody can learn everything, right? But for a particular, if you're applying to a particular position, know what framework they would be preferring and prepare accordingly. I would say learn Selenium. That's one of the core things, and Cucumber or Gherkin, they're all based on top of Selenium. Similarly, for a if you want to write an end-to-end test, in you can use JUnit, you can use PyTest, TestNG, etc. All right, so now let's talk about some of the advantages that it has. So obvious reasons, advantages that it covers a lot of defects and flaws in the system early on, right, even before we release a build. So helps us capture those defects. System testing helps us to make sure that our build, our release candidate is functioning as expected and meets all the requirements. Additionally, it builds a lot of confidence in the teams both dev, QA, product, business teams, and the decision making becomes easy because if everything is working, there are no major defects. Uh, because at the end of the day, it's the business that is getting affected. So it gives confidence to the decision making at the business level. Let's talk about some of the disadvantages. Now, every time a build comes, every time a release candidate comes at the end of the sprint or maybe after few couple of sprints, it's time consuming and expensive. Like we run the same suit again and again. Sometimes the functionality breaks and then we have to do all again, all over. Takes away a lot of important time and resources from the QA team. A lot of coordination is required between dev, QA teams to achieve that particular thing. Also, system testing can really be disrupted by external factors. Like, for example, let's say there are environment changes, upgrade into your infrastructure. All of that changes can lead into a lot of defects. And again, we need to perform the entire system testing. So that is something that takes a lot of time and effort. So what can help it is definitely automation and automated scripts so that your effort in running the scripts or test cases will be less. Again, system testing cannot uncover all the defects, say performance, security, compatibility, load testing, stress testing, accessibility testing. All those are really missed out in system testing. Only functionality is checked. A lot of defects are found after you have deployed, right? So that's one of the common use case. But again, you can't ignore system testing. That's very much an important part of the sprint or the release candidate build. Alright, so that was about system testing. I hope it's clear. I hope a lot of you are already doing system testing, both QA and dev, making sure that your user stories are working as expected in the environment that you're deploying. Uh, so yeah, so that's about system testing. We'll continue learning in this series. In the next episode, I'll cover about integration testing. So join me there. If you like my work and tutorials, please consider buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/arttutorials. Thank you so much in advance. See you in the next episode.